please rise for the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have the clerk call the roll, please.
Please note for the record that Mayor Carter is not in attendance tonight. Deputy Mayor Swatman,
Present.
Councilmember Baldwin,
Here.
Councilmember Davis,
Present.
Councilmember Fullerton,
Here.
Councilmember Hubler,
Here.
Councilmember McClymans,
Here.
Councilmember Rock.
Here.
Thank you. Do we have any, the minutes or the next item? Do we have any modifications?
No, the minutes were changed. So I recommend that we approve the minutes with the changes that were made.
So moved.
Second.
Very good. Thank you. And now we move on to the council open discussion. Anyone have any open discussion?
Yes.
Me,
Sorry.
Hubler.
So I don't know if you guys know, some do. The Left 1 plan and Left 2 plan at the state level are being discussed about combining the two. The reason I bring this up at our meeting is because the city of Olympia actually brought it up at their city council meeting recently, and they are working on coming up with a statement to our state government of not doing that and not touching the Left 1 or the Left 2 plan. That is a retirement system for our law enforcement and our firefighters. It's not, they've wanted previously years, and they're talking about it now, to take from the Left 2 and the Left 1 plans and using that for other purposes. Right now, they're talking about taking $1 billion from it to put into the state general fund to offset $1 billion of our deficit. So I wanted to kind of talk with our council and see what you guys think about that, and if anybody would be on board for making a letter of support to, or how do you say that, non-support for the government, for our state to not take the money from that plan. There are still several members of the Left 1 plan alive, and the goal of the Left program is to maintain that they have a retirement for the rest of their lives, not for however long it lasts. I don't want to see us in a social security crisis.
I think Sherry had some input.
Yeah, the city of Bonney Lake does not have any Left 1 members anymore, so it doesn't really affect our city. We have 0 Left 1 members.
It affects our Left 2 as well, because they want to combine the two programs and then take $1 billion from the two programs totaled.
And Councilmember Baldwin.
I think regardless of what the city of Bonney Lake has, we should be concerned anytime the government is trying to reach their hand into pockets that they never funded. I think the main thing is that it looks like Governor Inslee is looking for another way to fill gaps. And so what?
Ferguson.
Oh, yeah, that guy. And so just kind of a way to look at it too is this proposal, if they were to propose this and turn this into something that'll actually happen, it's going to create a $1 billion buffer that they're going to then put into the general fund. And that's money they didn't even raise. And I think what Councilmember Hubler is trying to propose is that as a city, whether it's we write a city of support to say we don't support these kinds of actions coming from the state. I know for me personally, it's also affecting me, like as far as the funding is concerned. They just don't have any right to take money from something that they didn't fund. It was the firefighters and law enforcement officers that funded that. So.
Thank you.
Um,
Councilmember Fulton.
Yeah, I agree that we could write a letter of opposition for the city of Bonney Lake. I think that we're going to need to really pay attention to this year in particular's legislative process, because there's a lot of laws that are coming down. There's a lot of changes that are coming down, and these are going to impact us greatly. We don't have a legislative chair that I know of, but I think we need to be paying attention. So yes, I believe we should write a letter of opposition and send it to the state legislators, but also there's going to be, not just for one situation, I mean, there's going to be a lot of bills that are going to, be parents' rights and all kinds of things are up for grabs right now. So I think that we could start writing writs of opposition to a lot of the bills that they're trying to push through at this time. So not just one, but this in particular, it doesn't affect me personally, but it does, because if they can reach their pockets into the retirement of state employees, then they can start going into the teachers' funds. They can start going into, the garbage man or whatever. They can dip their paws into anything they want to dip their paws in if they can get this passed. So we definitely need to put the kibosh on something like this from happening. So if we want as a council to maybe figure out if we could get our city attorney to write a letter or something. I don't know what we would need to do, but just a letter of opposition to send down. But I'm for it.
Can we have staff get with the mayor and see if they can do something then? Thank you.
You guys. Just want to make sure, did everybody get the email from Danica Williams that is Governor-elect Bob Ferguson's budget priorities email?
I believe it might be just you and I, since we're on, I'm the PCRC chair and then you're the alternate. So I think we're the ones that get Danica's emails. Yeah,
Okay.
but nobody else would get those. I don't know if we can forward those to maybe, if you forward it to the council, then you have to put, do not reply.
Yeah, I could blind copy everybody on it. Right? Sorry. Just because I want to make sure you guys all are aware of what he's got coming up and what he's proposing at the state level. There are some positives, there are some possible negatives, but everybody's going to look at it differently. So I want to make sure you guys all see that. So I'll forward that out into a blind copy to everybody then.
Thank you. Councilmember Fulton.
Just a clarification question. So to Jennifer Robertson, city attorney, if Councilmember Hubler blind copies something, should she still put on there do not reply, or would it not reply to everybody?
So if the council's, is working, if the council's, if the council's blind copying, then they can't reply all. I think it's still a good practice. I have set up a form in my email that does not allow reply all, but I still say don't reply all because I don't necessarily trust the technology, but I think it works. But yeah, I think it's just good practice because then it also triggers the memory for all council members. And the situation with email communication to the council and from the council is that if a council member wants to send a one-way communication, like copying the council on something from a constituent, that does not create a meeting. However, if 3 other council members replied just to Councilmember Hubler about that issue, you've just had a meeting. So it's really better if there's a one-way communication. I have a council member in one of my cities, when she's doing something like that, she might write one-way communication, do not reply, because you don't want to risk having even if they don't reply all, if 3 council members reply to Councilmember Hubler, you've just had a meetings act. potential open meetings act violation. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
I was looking up the left two, and I don't know if it's a bill yet. I think it's just a proposal from Governor Ferguson in the budget.
It is a proposal.
It is the
Yeah,
proposal
I
right now.
couldn't find a bill yet. I was just
No.
looking for
Real
it.
quick, I just looked it up. Basically where the sorry, Left One plan, according to the 2024 PEFI online, is overfunded by about 68%. So they have $2.8 trillion more than what they are projecting they need. Left One has 1.8 million, I'm sorry, trillion, or 9% more than what they feel they need. So with the Left One folks having to have been hired before 1972, a lot of them are unfortunately no longer around. And so it makes sense that at some point they're going to close that fund and retire it into Left Two. I understand then that sounds like they're also trying to steal that money back. But I just wanted you to know, I quickly looked up the PEFI and they are overfunded at this point.
Yeah, they have said they're overfunded. We just being, yeah, don't want to see the government take funds, even if once the Left One is completely unusable anymore, then they have already talked about rolling that into the Left Two plan so that current and upcoming officers and firefighters have funding if, God forbid, nothing bad ever happens and we have a whole bunch retire all at the same time.
Councilmember Baldwin.
Yeah, I know the Guild for Left One has about $2 billion in surplus as far as they've been told, and Left Two is fully funded. I think even on that basis, like that should be, that should be moved towards police officers and firefighters, not with any kind of government general fund. That's utterly ridiculous.
And actually, I think I just might have found the bill. It's 51 pages long, so I don't know for sure.
Ooh.
But it's Senate Bill 5085, and it actually deals with teachers' funds too. It's to take three different,
Yes, I heard that.
yeah,
Yep.
three different ones that are old and typically closed to new members and merging those in. So that is Senate Bill 5085. I'm happy to send a link to the council if you'd like.
Thank you.
Is there any other open discussion? Seeing none, then we'll move along to our discussion action items. Madam Clerk will have to read the full title. This is a possible action item.
This is a discussion item with action to follow for AB 2502, Resolution R 2502, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Bonney Lake, Pierce County, Washington, authorizing a professional services agreement with Gunderson Law Office, PLLC, for prosecution services.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Councilmember?
So we have discussion and action because there's currently no prosecutor.
Correct. So as council may recall, our two prosecuting attorneys left the end of November, the first part of December. Since that time, our city attorney's office, the firm of Inslee Best, has been filling in as an interim measure. And so, as was noted in the reading of the title, this would hire an outside independent contractor and would save the city approximately $150,000 over the annual cost of hiring two in-house city attorneys.
And the mayor likes this and wants to do
Yes,
that.
yeah. The mayor was the one who wanted to go out for a request for proposals, and is noted in the agenda bill that went out on December 10th of 2024. Proposals were due January 3rd. The Gundersons were the sole submitters. They have worked for us previously in the past, filling in during times of absences in the prosecutor's offices. So we are very familiar with both Will and Ivor Gunderson, the two principals in the firm. Very well liked by the judge and the court staff as well. So we believe it would be a good fit for us at this time.
Councilmember Baldwin?
I definitely support the decision of the mayor. I did speak with him, and he definitely echoed the same sentiment in that, first of all, with contracting, it doesn't there's a lot less that we need to deal with there, but also that we would save a considerable amount of money. And so definitely support this decision by the mayor.
You, I guess we need to open this one up to the public too.
Mhm.
Or if there's any public that wishes to speak to this issue, just this issue. Do we have any virtual? We have no comments. So is there any more? There wouldn't be any more discussion. So all those in favor of resolution R25-02, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Next discussion item, Madam Clerk, please.
This is a discussion item only for AB 2505, Resolution R 2505, on designating Catherine Ford as the official city representative to the Pierce County Conservative Futures and Open Space Citizens Advisory Board. So I had heard from Pierce County, and they are needing us to make a decision before the end of February. Catherine Ford is the applicant that has put in. That is the one application we have had this entire time. We are extremely behind on appointing someone at this point.
Councilmember Fullerton.
Just have a correction. It's actually the conservation futures, not conservative, right? It's the official city representative to the Pierce County Conservation Futures and Open Spaces Citizens Advisory Committee, Advisory Board. And we were initially, weren't we looking for a council member, but then we figured out that we're not allowed to have a council member. Okay. So.
They read their bylaws.
Councilman Rook.
Was the position advertised?
Yes.
We have advertised it for several months.
All right. Seeing no other discussion, we'll move this one forward. Very good.
For consent next week.
Yep. And then I guess we got to adjourn to regular council workshop and go to an executive session for 15 minutes. You want to read the rest of the RCW? There's two.
There's 2 executive sessions, so you're just going to adjourn the regular session and head on in there.
Very good. This meeting is adjourned.
Any actions to follow?
No.
Okay.